Grace had been hesitant to start dating again after a difficult breakup. She had been focusing on her studies in library science to keep herself busy and avoid the pain of a failed relationship. One day, she met Gary, the manager of the supermarket where she shopped. Despite her reservations, Grace found herself drawn to Gary's kindness and easy conversation. She agreed to go on a date with him, and they quickly hit it off as their relationship deepened. Gary proved himself to be a considerate and attentive partner. He was the kind of man who treated Grace like she was the most important person in his life. He even asked her to marry him and have children with him, something her previous partner had never even mentioned. Grace's best friend Sonya, however, was not a fan of Gary. She made fun of his short stature and questioned the seriousness of Grace's relationship with him. Grace was upset with Sonya for this and defended Gary, telling her that she should accept him for the person he is.
Hey Sonia, what's going on?
Not much, just getting ready for dinner tonight. We're having Gary and Grace over.
Oh, that's nice. I'm looking forward to it.
So, Grace, tell me more about this Gary guy. Is this relationship serious or just casual?
Why do you ask?
No reason, I just want to make sure my best friend is happy.
I don't know, Sonia. I really like Gary, he's a good person. But I'm still getting over my last relationship and I don't want to rush into anything.
I see. It's just that, well, he's kind of short, isn't he?
That's not fair, Sonia. Just because someone is short doesn't mean they're not a good person. Gary has been nothing but kind and considerate to me.
I'm sorry, Grace. I didn't mean to offend you. I just want you to be happy.
I know, Sonia, and I appreciate your concern, but I need to figure things out for myself.
I understand. I'm here for you no matter what.
Thanks, Sonia. I really appreciate it.
A phone call between Grace and Gary.
Gary, I just want you to know how much you mean to me. You've been such a constant support, and I can't thank you enough for that.
Grace, you don't have to thank me. It's just my nature to be there for the people I care about, and I care about you more than anything.
You always know just what to say and how to make me feel better. You're an amazing lover, too.
I just want to make you happy, Grace. You deserve all the love and affection in the world.
And you give me so much of it, Gary. I can't imagine my life without you.
I feel the same way, Grace. I love you more than anything.
I love you too, Gary. Thank you for being such a wonderful person and for loving me just the way I am.
I will always love you, Grace. You are the most important person in my life and I will always be here for you.
Grace met Marshall, the owner of an employment agency, while looking for a job. He took her out to dinner to discuss job prospects and kissed her. Grace later went to his apartment, where he pressured her for physical affection in exchange for helping her find a job. When she refused, he slapped her and pushed her out of the apartment. Grace called Gary, her current partner, to come and pick her up. The incident with Marshall made Grace realize that she truly cared for Gary and wanted to be with him. Grace sat down on the couch next to Gary and took a deep breath before starting to speak.
Gary, there's something I need to tell you. It's about Marshall.
Gary looked at her with concern in his eyes.
What is it, Grace? What happened?
Grace hesitated for a moment before continuing.
I went out with Marshall a couple of times. I thought he could help me find a job, but he just wanted something in return. He tried to pressure me into sleeping with him, and when I refused, he got angry and hit me. That's why I called you to come and get me that night. I was so scared and I didn't know what to do.
Gary's face was filled with shock and disgust.
I can't believe he would do something like that. Are you okay?
Grace nodded.
I'm fine, just shaken up. I feel so guilty for lying to you and going behind your back like that. I never meant to hurt you, Gary. You mean everything to me.
Gary took Grace's hand in his and gave it a gentle squeeze.
I love you, Grace. And I'm not angry with you. I'm just glad you're okay and that you came to me. We'll get through this together.
Grace leaned into Gary and let out a sigh of relief.
Thank you for understanding. I don't deserve your forgiveness, but I promise to never keep anything from you again.
Gary wrapped his arms around Grace and held her close.
I love you no matter what, Grace. And I'll always be here for you.
Gary was worried and asked if he should call the police. She realized that she had made a mistake in seeing Marshall and that she truly cared for Gary. She asked Gary to marry her, and he happily agreed. They planned a small wedding, and Gary's family welcomed Grace into their family. In the pictures and video of their wedding, Gary looks handsome in his tuxedo, and Grace is radiant in her white satin gown. Despite the fact that Grace is significantly taller than Gary, they are both proud and happy to be married.